Good evening. Nhulunbuy appears to have been spared a direct hit from a monster cyclone that was threatening to unleash its full fury on the town. Category 3 severe tropical cyclone Lam passed to their north, but the danger along the top-end coast is far from over. The storm is still intensifying as it plots a new collision course with Elcho Island. They're in the projected path of one of the most violent storms to ever threaten our country. What was originally thought to be an issue for their Nhulunbuy neighbours is now an imminent problem for Elcho Island. Many locals have taken shelter already as Cyclone Lam barrels towards the coast.
Definitely nervous, definitely anxious. We'd all like to see it pass, so the sooner it comes and goes, the better.
The storm is picking up intensity in its final push towards land. It's expected to be a severe Category 4 system when it finally strikes tomorrow.
Very destructive winds will cause a lot of damage, a lot of roof structural damage, lots of vegetation damage as well. On top of that, we'll likely see a very dangerous storm surge.
We're always reminded cyclones are notoriously difficult to predict, and while it's not completely out of danger just yet, it seems more than likely Nhulunbuy has dodged a direct impact. This was some of the worst of the weather, as the storm's violent inner core charged to the west, not directly over the town as some had feared, but 135 kilometres to the north.
We've been here nearly 9 years, or just going into our 9th year, and this is the worst that we've ever seen it.
The trees are going crazy, but I think we'll be okay. We might just get the tail end.
Conditions are expected to deteriorate further as Lam takes a more south-southwesterly track over the next 24 hours.
We're expecting the cyclone to actually make a left-hand turn sometime during the next 12 hours or so mainly overnight, and then we're expecting to make landfall later on Thursday.
Damage so far is minor. A wharf near the Nhulunbuy refinery, one of the early casualties.
The pontoons out at the wharf has come away, and bits of road damage and things like that, and there's quite a few trees have blown over already, mainly just because there's been so much rain and with a bit of wind around.
There wasn't too much else to damage on the coast. Boats had been moved to sheltered positions long ago, but curious locals were still drawn there in occasional breaks from the weather. Some made it their playground, actions which drew a predictable response.
The Northern Territory Emergency Services and Police advise people that they should stay away from flooded drains, rivers, streams and waterways.
Generally, though, authorities have been pleased at the public's behaviour. Streets were deserted last night as most heeded advice to stay indoors.
Last night at 8:30, some of the Indigenous communities have been brought to the shelter.
83 people, mainly from Wallaby Beach, spent the night in temporary accommodation at Gove Hospital. Tonight, they're bunkering down again. We might have seen the start of severe tropical cyclone Lam, but we haven't seen the last.